Hello, my most amazing artists. Today you're going to be getting your clay hand back that we made last week. You're going to notice that it's changed a lot. It's gone into that clay oven called the kiln. It was baked at about 2,000 degrees for 12 hours, and now it's as hard as a rock. If I were to drop this into a bucket of water carefully, it would not turn back to mud or clay. It would stay exactly the same as it is right now. So it has changed into something that you can keep forever and ever. Now it is permanent. You're also going to notice that the color has changed. It's not gray, squishy clay anymore. So the clay is now ceramic. We call clay that has gone through that change in the clay oven or kiln ceramic. It's now hard as a rock, but if you were to drop it, it could break, just like glass can shatter. So be careful when you're holding it today. So now, if I were to drop it in a bucket of water, nothing would happen. It would change, or it would not change, it would stay ceramic. It would not turn back to mud. And it's white because it went through a physical change in the kiln. Now, you do still have to be careful, even though it is permanent. If you hold it by a finger or if you're walking around the room with it, it could break and it could fall. So you want to be careful not to drop it and not to hold the fingers. Hold it by the bottom with 2 hands. Now today you're going to get to paint these with neon paints. These paints are already wet. They have water, so you don't have to add water. The brush and the water is just there so you can wash your brush in between colors so that you can use all the colors you want of the neon paints to paint this hand with. It's a little bowl now and you'll be able to put things on it. It's going to be awesome and you'll get to take it home after they dry and after we glaze them with some clear stuff to make it shiny next week. I'm going to start out with my lightest colors and I'm going to start with my big brush. I'm going to start in the middle because I have that big heart shape, and I'm making sure that I'm keeping my paintbrush like a ballerina on the tippy toes, never ever scooting around on its bottom because nobody wants to go to the booty scooting ballet. So I'm keeping that paintbrush like a ballerina on the tippy toes, not smashing it down. Now you're going to notice that the clay sucks up all the paint. It sucks up all the paint really fast. It's absorbing the paint into all of its pores. That means it's going to dry super, super fast. So it's going to dry fast that you can paint it again with another color after it dries. So if I want to switch my color though, I can't just go right to the blue. I got to give Mr. Paintbrush a good bath. Otherwise, it's going to mix all the colors together and that makes brown. So I give my paintbrush a really good bath, even if he doesn't want it. You have to, Mr. Paintbrush. You got to take that bath, and then I can go to my next color after I give it a good bath in the water. Now I can paint my next color on there. I'm going to hold it really carefully and paint around my next heart. I want to make sure I get all my white spaces and keep that ballerina tippy toes in a nice point so that way I can get in all those little cracks and textures and crevices that we made last week with the clay. And when you're painting, just make sure you get into all those spots and make sure you wash that paintbrush really, really good. Now I'm going to fast forward it as I'm painting, but you'll see that I'm going to wash my brush in between every single color. And if I need to make sure to get into all the little cracks and all the white spaces, I can add a little bit of water to my paintbrush and it'll make that paint spread out faster. So when I'm washing my brush, I do get off the paint, but if I want to keep a little water, I just dip. If it starts to drip, I don't wipe it on the lip if I want that paint to spread faster. So I don't always have to get off all the water. It's not necessarily a bad thing because it helps get that brush into all the little textures that you made on your clay hand, because we made it so that it has to sink into some of those pictures that you drew or lines that you made or things that you rolled out, maybe flowers or butterflies, whatever it is. I'm going to paint with all the colors. I'm going to use every single color so I make sure that I don't go from one color to the next without washing my paintbrush. I want to fill all the white space, not only just on the fingers, but I'm also going to fill the white space on the back of the hand. Once I paint the front side with all the colors I want and get all the white spots, then I can flip it over to the back. You'll notice it's already dry. It dries so, so fast. So I can even design it. I could flip over my paintbrush and I could make polka dots using the back side of it. I could draw a picture. I could draw little lines or decorations, but I love those little polka dots. Now I can flip it over to the back and I'm going to use a lot of water and a lot of paint to give it just one color. If you have paint on your hands, don't worry, it'll come off with an art wipe or some hand sanitizer. This paint is totally washable. You'll be just fine. So I want to paint every little white spot. When I'm done, I'm going to make sure that I got every part of my hand and washed my brush really good. Next week, after these are dry, we're going to get to dip them or paint them with a glitter glaze. You'll have the option to add glitter to these next week before you get to take them home and keep them forever. All right, my most amazing artists, have fun. And this paint even does something special in the light that Miss Q will show you next.